Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Your favorite podcast on the internet.
With Enzo Antonio and Anna Catherine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 139 of Telepathy. It's another Telepathy Tuesday, and of course, we're here. Thank you for tuning in. Wow, I feel like so talk show host with that intro.
Yes, so official. But welcome. We obviously love to talk about pop culture and the music industry. That's like our main thing, I feel like.
In case you haven't gathered that yet, we do love to talk about social media, pop culture, the media,
the music,
the scene. Just kidding.
But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about something interesting that just came up recently. And just broad overview, if any of you guys listen to the band Geese, it kind of recently came out that they were somewhat of a psyop, which I guess means industry plant. I guess we can get into the definition when we
I know,
really
I
get
had
started.
to Google what that was when researching this. I was like, a psyop? Like, do I know what this
Google
is?
It, and I didn't. But basically, there's kind of some like proof or allegations that they kind of like paid their way into like they're still not mainstream, I would say, but they're like getting closer to mainstream in the indie world, I guess I would say. But we're gonna get all into that. We're gonna talk about psyops. We're gonna talk about industry plants, which we have touched on recently, but I think we can go a lot deeper and really talk about our opinions on it. And just overall, is there such thing as an industry plant?
Yes, because I also, as I was doing research, I randomly was making a correlation between the whole industry plant conversation and the recent Kia/Kaya, I guess it's actually Kaya Asylum, but like some connections between that. And I was like, wait, this is interesting. But
wait, we can revisit.
Exactly. I'm going to leave you guys with the definition of psyop before we do our telepathy traditions, just to keep you on your toes. But a psyop is actually a psychological operation. It's a little shortened way to say that. Abbreviation, I guess is the word. But I'm like, wait, that's so interesting. A psychological operation.
Oh.
Which is like, kind of just feels like
I've honestly never heard that word before, but then, I know. Yeah, and then I heard like geese was a psyop, and I was like, oh, geese is a psyop, and then I was like, wait, what's a psyop?
So I guess it can kind of just include propaganda, advertising, all of that, like marketing, like just that whole world. We
can get so deep into like, is it an industry plant or is it just advertising? Like, it's just
exactly.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
And also like the demonization of the term industry plant. We'll get into it, guys. I think that we're just like...
we have so many opinions.
I know. We're just keeping you on the edge of your seats already.
This has been the longest intro before a camp question ever, I think.
I know, literally. So let's just like, since we're so excited, let's just like do the camp question. So name, age, and it's currently raining today in Austin. Psyop? No, literally. It's currently raining today in Austin, which is literally so depressing. I'm like, these April showers need to stop. Like the May flowers are going to be so good, but like I'm done with April showers.
The East Coast has been in a drought. Like, I don't know if you've heard, but like they're actually starting to limit water usage.
Oh my gosh.
In North Carolina.
Wait, that's crazy.
So enjoy the rain.
Okay, never mind. Actually, love the rain, love everything that the earth does for us. I think Earth Day is like tomorrow or Thursday or something. But yes, all of that to say, the camp question is, what is your favorite rainy day activity? Or when you see clouds in the sky and it starts to pour, what's the first thing on your agenda? In a perfect world, I guess.
Yes. My name's Anna. I'm 23. And my favorite rainy day activity, probably the most stereotypical rainy day activity, is making a cup of tea and just reading.
Oh, we love that.
I haven't gotten to do that in a while. Like, I've been so busy. I just haven't even had that much time to just sit and read for a long time during the day, because I try to read at night and I just immediately fall asleep, and it's really sad, actually. So I'm trying to make more time to read during the day. I'm not traveling anytime soon, so I think I'll finally get some time. I've just been like traveling and doing everything recently. But I would love to just, if it rained this weekend, actually that would be so awesome, because I could just sit on the couch and read.
I'll like send the rain your way. Honestly, like,
yes.
Can I like push her? Yeah, I'll push her over.
Just like blow.
No, literally, because I'm just so done with the rain. It's been raining the past 2 days. I'm like, where's the sun? And rainy days in college campuses are just so much worse because you have to walk everywhere. And my umbrella is so cheap. I'm like, I might as well just not even carry it around because it's not doing anything. I'm like still getting wet, and the wind and stuff.
My favorite thing was like, there was this one time I happened to be taking like an early morning online class because it was the only option was online.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally it would rain, and it would be so nice to just go on online school like in the rain. I don't know why.
Oh, wait, that is kind of a vibe. That's going to be me tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes.
Except it's not going to be a vibe because I'm sick of the rain. But hello, I'm Enzo. I'm 18 currently, but 19 when you're watching this. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Exactly. My favorite rainy day activity. Okay, despite being a film major, I actually don't watch movies very often. But when it's raining, that's like my call to action to like put on a good movie or TV show or just like watch something that I've been putting off, whether it's been on my list. And yes, I feel like it's a good segue into the media we've been consuming recently, our music and TV shout outs.
Ooh, okay. Wait, I didn't even look at music shout outs today.
My shout outs are so random. Number one is Find Your Love by Drake. I don't even know what
I
to
love
say.
how you occasionally have the Drake shout out.
Sometimes it's just a Drake song. I need to make a playlist. I want to make a playlist of Young Drake, Young JB, and Young JT. That's like my favorite boys of the 2010s. Anyways, and then my next one is 15 Minutes by Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know what it is. This is such like a fresh spring sounding pop song. And the overall mix of it is so gorgeous. Like the chorus, like it's so layered and her voice is just so smooth. And I'm like, she can do a lot in 15 minutes. I'm like,
Nice.
period.
My shout out is Kneecap is coming out with a new album soon. I actually don't know when. I've not been very good at my album release dates recently, but I think the title track, Fenian, is a really good song. It's very catchy, and it's like they do a few songs where it's kind of like spelling sounds stupid, but it's like when you spell out the letters.
A-B-C-D-E-F-U-H, Mom.
I was thinking, spelling is fun, girl.
Oh, wait, true. Wait, so true.
Although that's not really like spelling. But anyways, Fenian by Kneecap. I actually don't even know what Fenian means. I assume it's something Irish.
Fenium.
Fenian.
Oh, Fenian. Right. That,
Yeah.
So I said the first time. Yeah. Wait, love that. And where can we find these songs?
We have a playlist. We always have. If you didn't know that, where have you been?
You've
Have
been
you not been
skipping.
listening?
You've been skipping around in the
You've been
shows.
skipping.
But it's
You've been
okay.
skipping.
Because we're explaining it now.
To get to our playlist, you can go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. We have a highlight titled playlist, and you click that. There's a link that takes you to the Spotify playlist where you can listen to all of the amazing songs that we've shouted out through the history of telepathy.
10 out of 10. So good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I didn't stutter that time.
No, literally just
any
like rapping.
Movies, TV, what? Movies, shows?
I watched episode 1 of Euphoria finally. Episode 2 already came out and I have not seen it. And I heard that Jules is in it and she's T or something. So we'll see about that. But I thought episode 1 was interesting. I don't know, like I feel like they're relying a little bit too much on the iconicness of the shows and like what they've already developed with the characters, that they're not really going any further. Like Cassie feels very, I don't know, she doesn't feel as deep to me anymore. Like I feel like she just is very, I don't know, like there's just not much to her this season. I'm like, damn, like she's really just kind of like a housewife. Like, I don't know. It's just like kind of sad to see actually.
I have no idea what any of the context is because I've not seen Euphoria, but still on my list.
Yes.
Have I? I don't think I've watched or seen anything. I was off the grid because I went camping.
Yes.
Which is
the
the perfect segue into my week recap. Yeah, so I took like a half day off of work on Friday because my boyfriend and I were going camping this weekend, which was really fun. It was for his birthday, which was yesterday. And I haven't been camping in a really long time. And it was the first time like I've camped without my dad. So I had to, or like me and Seth both obviously chipped in to bring stuff, but like I actually had to think like, wait, what do you bring when you go
like
camping?
the logistics. Yes.
Yeah, especially like cooking stuff. Like Seth had he got like a camping stove for Christmas, and he got a tent for Christmas. So he had like the main stuff, but then like I kind of brought some food, and then I had to think of like every type of kitchen utensil you'd use to cook each thing. But we made like hot dogs one night and pancakes in the morning, which was really fun.
Wait, that sounds so fun. Like I want to go camping.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I want to go again soon. Like very soon.
Do you still have your Eno?
Yeah, we hung up our Enos.
Oh my gosh, wait.
We got a good amount of Enoing time in. And we went to New River Gorge, which is in West Virginia. And fun fact, it's like the newest national park. And it was made a national park in 2020. And I had like no idea I was going a national park to a national park until I got there. But then the second night it rained, there was like a thunderstorm and we couldn't tell if it was going to be really severe or not. And we were like right by a river, so we were worried that if it like flooded or something, it would like flood our stuff. So we ended up booking an Airbnb for the second night, which was a sad decision, but it was a cool Airbnb. It was like 70s themed. It was in like the middle of nowhere, West Virginia. Oh, also the first full day, we did a 9-mile hike. That's like the longest hike I've ever done.
Wait, love.
And it was pretty flat, so it wasn't like super strenuous, but like it was like a 5-hour hike, and I never go on that long of hikes, but it was really fun.
Wait, that's so fun.
Yeah, that was my weekend. How was yours?
Wait, it was good. I would like have this random thought where I was like, imagine like you're in the Hunger Games and you go to the cornucopia and you get a little bag and there's like only an Eno. Like, why would Eno be a good sponsor for the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
We should get on that. All of that to say, well, I guess speaking of your 9-hour hike, I had my 6-mile run because I did my 10K this weekend. And honestly, it was...
Oh, so that's how much 10K is. I didn't actually know how many miles.
Too many. No, but it was actually a lot of fun. And when I got to mile 3, I was like still running. And I was like, wait a minute, like I did train for this. Like, this is what I've been training for. Like, and so I ran all 6 miles, which like I've never done before.
Like you didn't stop?
Like I did not stop once.
Wow.
And I was like really
amazing.
proud because like I'm not a runner like that, but recently I've been getting into running and I was like, wow, like I can do this. It was fun. And my time...
You have that Carolina in you.
Literally. I finished in 1 hour and 3 minutes, which is about like a 10-minute mile, but like
wow,
across 6 miles, it's like a 10-minute, like 20-second mile.
An hour to run 1 mile.
Yes. I was like, period. Wait. So that was fun. And then everything's been stressful, still more exams, but I'm kind of seeing like all of the stress from the past couple of weeks. Like now I'm seeing like what it was all for as we're like, what is it? Closing ties or like we're
closing up the loose ends.
Tying up the loose ends. Yes. That part.
Something like that.
Yes. But that was my week. And yeah, now it's been raining, watering those industry plants. Tried to do a little like smooth segue.
Crazy segue. We already talked about the definition of a psyop, which is psychological operation. Is that right?
Yes. Wait, can you talk more about the geese thing and like what you said and like what the reaction has been like, how people came to the conclusion that they're actually a psyop?
So first off, to preface, I've been a geese fan since 2021.
Keep that
Just have to say that because I'm a gatekeeper.
Yes.
And so that means like I found out about them before any of this marketing stuff started. Just saying, guys.
Yeah, no, claim it.
But anyways, just like a week or two ago at the time that we're recording this, it kind of came out that geese had, I don't really know around what year, I'm going to guess around 2023, which is when, no, it had to have been before the release of their newest album, which came out in like October, I think. So like throughout the year of 2025, I'm going to say, they had been paying this social media marketing agency, to basically like the thing that this social media agency does is they make like fake accounts and burner accounts and stuff to like make posts and comment on posts and like drive engagement basically about the band. And so like basically there were certain posts about geese that started like going up in views and like blowing up. And honestly, I kind of feel like I experienced that because at one point, I think maybe over the summer, I just started seeing all of these geese posts and like geese memes and jokes. And I was like, why are they just randomly like starting to blow up? Like, like I haven't been like searching them a lot on Instagram, but like, why am I scrolling on Instagram and every post is about geese?
Right. Like, why is there more noise surrounding them?
Yeah.
All
like
of a sudden.
Just one day there was suddenly more noise about them. So they had been basically, they had hired this social media agency to do that. And like, literally that's their job, is to make noise around the artist. And then that kind of allowed more people to discover the band right around the time that their new album dropped. And then I think probably one of their songs got, I wouldn't say like TikTok-ified, although I'm not on TikTok, so maybe it is. But it just became really popular. You would start seeing it in people's Instagram posts, like their the song that they choose to put in their Instagram post. People that like I knew that had never known Geese before now know Geese. And then like they were featured on SNL shortly after their album released, and like lots of different talk shows and stuff. So basically then like a few weeks ago it came out. I don't know how it came out, like if they didn't want it to come out or if they were like fine with it. But it came out that they had been paying this social media agency to gain noise and traction around them. And then I think like people in the fan base, I don't think they were really mad necessarily. I think they're like, well, we already discovered them, so like
yeah, like it worked,
it's
I
fine.
guess. Yeah,
like I feel like a good amount of Geese fans are like fine with them getting discovered, because a lot of us have been fans for such a long time, and it's kind of like it's almost like satisfying to finally see them like come to the mainstream, and now they're playing all the music festivals. So it's kind of cool. It's like, okay, like we knew this was going to happen at some point. So I haven't seen too much like hate about it. I feel like psyops sounds like a negative word, but it's kind of just like, it is, okay, the one kind of like suspicious thing is as soon as this came out, the social media agency removed Geese's name from all of their like evidence on their website.
Oh.
So like,
so they were going to try to like slide under the radar.
Hide it. Yeah. And like, I don't know. So this is kind of where we can get into, is this an industry plant? Like, is this manipulative, or is it just part of the business? Because, I mean, advertising is very manipulative, and I'm not sure there's much we can do about that. Like, that's just how the world is, and advertising is so big that it's hard to stop it from manipulating us. And if you're in a band, you do, like, that is your income, and that's how you want to make money. So like part of it is the business of trying to gain traction, but is it morally wrong if you're making fake fans and fake followers? I think that's definitely where it gets into a gray area.
Right, like wanting to grow isn't bad, but trying to expedite the process using like arguably unethical methods can get into the gray area of, okay, do you actually just want to grow, or is this like more like greed, you know?
Yeah. And like also apparently a lot of music labels, like record labels, do similar stuff where they'll like buy a bunch of extra copies for themselves, or like do certain things that shoot their clients like further up into the charts, basically.
Yeah. And in so many industries, whether it's the music industry or just on social media, it's easy to obtain success now, but on a greater scale, it's harder because there's so many different niches on the internet now. There's so many different little corners of social media that you can gain success in one area. But if you want to expand, and this can go for music as well, like if you have like a very specific demographic of people that listen to your music and you want to expand to like the general public and to mass audiences, there's such a different way that you have to go about marketing yourself. And so I think like to achieve A-list success, you really do have to be pushed in front of these large audiences. So like I was thinking with Olivia Rodrigo, like I definitely don't, I know some people have like tried to push like the industry plant term on her, but like I mean, I think she's good vibes. She's super talented and stuff. But when I do think back to Driver's License, I don't think that her record label's thought process was necessarily like, we have to get this to every teenage girl out there because this is like our primary audience. I mean, of course, that when Driver's License came out, you had teenage girls who were going through breakups, heavily relating to the song and resonating to it and crying to it and stuff. But you also had what's like a complete opposite demographic, like dads going to work, humming Driver's License on the radio because it's just a catchy song. So it's like you almost have to get it out to these massive audiences, even if it's not your targeted demographic. You have to get it out in front of a huge crowd so then it lands with the more specific demographics, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's also why so many artists will start off as like openers, because they have to get up in front of a big audience to perform.
Yeah,
and
that's a really good example.
It's not even that every single person in the crowd going to see the headliner is your targeted demographic. It's more just like you have to get up in front of this big group to find the smaller group within that's like, yes, I heavily vibe with you. I want to keep rocking with you. Like, yes, you know?
Yeah. I think also like it's also hard, which we can also talk about like our belief on if an industry plant exists, because we just talked about this recently, and we even have like a reel about it.
Yes. But promoting us.
Yeah. But like I also just don't think it's possible for any Disney Channel star to be an industry plant, because people are saying like Sabrina Carpenter's an industry plant or Olivia Rodrigo, and they're all like Disney child stars. And so it's like they're already in the industry. I wouldn't call that an industry plant because they're just shifting into a new, like, maybe because it could almost be Nepo baby status a little bit, because not literally Nepo baby, but like they're already in the industry. So
right, like the same like method or like same kind of pathway.
Yeah, or maybe like a guy at a record label like has a connection with somebody that worked with Olivia Rodrigo on set. So then they're like, you know, like she really wants to have a career in music. She definitely had an easier path getting into music than like somebody outside of the industry.
Yeah.
So it's like the industry helped her, but the industry didn't plant her.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, okay, going back to the reel that we were talking about with that logic, I think both of them would be considered industry plants. And I don't fully agree or disagree with that. You know, like it's not keeping me up at night being like, oh, are they industry plants? Like they're both successful women and they're killing it. Like that's really all that needs to be said. But with the logic that I was explaining in the reel last time, or like it was in the episode last time, but we like made it a little segment or whatever. But basically, I was saying that anybody with the record label is kind of inherently an industry plant. But I think that the term industry plant has been so demonized and people really think it's like a bad thing or this accusation or a way to say that somebody is inauthentically trying to grow in the industry. But it doesn't it's a pretty neutral term in my eyes. And I think that they both could fall into the industry plant category just because they already had success, you know, previously in their careers, and they both pivoted in a way to, you know, pop music or just more of a more defined music career in general. And so like, yes, their art is amazing and I'm sure they've spent so much time perfecting their craft and they both have very solid debut albums. But it's like at the end of the day, the record label is the one funding their studio sessions and getting them in contact with these producers. And it doesn't mean that they didn't achieve this success by themselves. Like obviously they are the reasons that they are here.
Yeah.
But there's also so much funding and money in the industry that gets them onto radios or gets them to headline Coachella or to go from just playing at Coachella to headlining and growing your audience from there. It really does take a team. It's like marketing, even just like the music creative side of it. There's producers, there's writers, you know, there's so much behind it. And it doesn't mean that they're inauthentic or these like robots or whatever.
Exactly. I feel like that's exactly like the problem with the industry plant term is that like saying that somebody's an industry plant almost makes it sound like, you know, they're not talented and they're only popular because the industry has helped them get to where they are. And like, obviously, as you're saying, like the industry helps everyone get to where they are because that's literally how the music industry works. And like, maybe you believe that somebody isn't talented, but like, even if they're not a good singer or not good at playing the piano or something like that, like they're making music their business and they're talented in the way that they're like showing up to the job and they're choosing that to be their job, you know, like there's so much more behind the scenes than just like singing and dancing or whatever. And everybody has different talents. Like we've talked about Addison Rae, like maybe she's not the best. Yeah, maybe she's not the best live singer. And like the way that she worked with production in her album was really amazing.
Exactly. And even though her live vocals may not be the most notable thing about her, no tea, no shade, but her performances are still gaining a lot of traction because there's other production value in it, whether it's the dancing, the choreography, just her overall energy. So many people have said that it's clear that Addison wants it and that so many celebrities try to be like nonchalant or act like they don't even want to be there at their own Coachella set. But Addison just shows that she like wants to be there. She wants the success. And so I think that it's like you can grow in so many different ways.
Yeah. And it's clear that people connect. An audience connects with her. I think that all that matters to be in the industry is if an audience connects with you. For example, like I don't connect with Benson Boone at all. I do not like Benson Boone, but a group of people do connect with him, and that's why he still has a career in the music industry and is releasing albums. So like, yeah, like because it's a two-way conversation between the artist and the fans, it's kind of like you can't just go around calling like Sabrina Carpenter an industry plant because you don't like her and you don't know how she came to fame, because there's clearly a group of people, a large group of people that really enjoy her music and get value out of it. So like as long as somebody's getting value out of it, like you're job as somebody in the music industry is worth it.
Yeah. And there's also so many working parts in the industry. And so that's why when you go see your favorite artist on tour, there's so many people working on the lighting and the overall creative vision of the show. And it's not that the artist is necessarily taking credit for their work or not like giving them enough recognition, but it's the type of thing where the artist is kind of the brand because they're putting their name on this tour. You know, like the tour might have their name on it. The merch has their name on it. So like, even though there's so many working parts to it and so many people involved on the team, they're kind of like the face of it all. So even if the lighting of a show is bad and the fans don't like it, they're not going to name the lighting person by name and be like, screw you, you did a terrible job. They're going to blame the artist because that's just something in the industry. It is unfortunate sometimes, but it's like you are kind of the face of everyone behind you. You know what I mean? Like you are the brand.
Right.
And going back to branding and resources, this is what I wanted to talk about with the Kia/Kaya Asylum and how so many people are just thrown into the Kia Asylum label, like Ava Max, for example. And these are artists that aren't seeing massive success from the general public anymore. And so oftentimes their label is literally pulling funding from them. And now they're further in the trenches because they're trying to get back up and get audiences to care about them again. But they have to try to find ways to stand out with less resources.
Oh my gosh. What was that thing with Halsey?
Okay, this is like telepathy. Yes.
Okay. Telepathy.
Where she was like, I can't make another album. Like they won't let me make another album. And how she was saying that her most recent album, like it did good. It pulled numbers. It was successful, but it wasn't the success of like Manic or Hopeless Fountain Kingdom or Badlands. Oh my God, wait, that's like...
Yeah, Badlands.
That's such a classic. But like she was doing numbers, just not those kind of numbers because it's just like a different time. She's evolved as an artist and even, wait, I literally have this on vinyl. It's the one with I'm Not a Woman, I'm a God in it. It's a really good album though, but it's more of like, it's more conceptual, less like single radio hit focused. Oh, If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. I have it on vinyl. It's great.
Oh.
But yeah, and The Impersonator was her recent album. So like it did good. It just
yeah,
wasn't
I really
seeing
liked that one.
the 2017 success that she was seeing. And so like she was facing the consequences of that from her label and getting less funding. And they want to focus on artists that are more like relevant. And so
up and coming.
Exactly. So it's I don't know, it's an easy like cycle to get in where you're like, if you're not popping off, then now you have less money to pop off again. So you're kind of like, if you're gonna get back on top of the charts, you have to do it with half the amount of resources and half the amount of money. I'm like, that's sad.
Wow. Yeah. And like with Geese, it was like they formed in 2016. So I can imagine like being an indie band that you've been around for 10 years and you're finally like, okay, we just need some traction to like get at least to where we're playing music festivals. And like, so I kind of understand like their choice to do what they did because like in the end, like maybe it's a good thing. Like they connect with more people find their music, and the people who like their music get a lot of meaning from their music and like adds more value to their life maybe. So like that is the good thing, is that pushing your brand and music isn't really ever going to harm anyone necessarily, but it is still, when you go back to the fact that, you know, they're creating bots to push them. Something else that so I watched this video about like just an overview of this psyop thing, and the owners of the company that like do the social media stuff, they basically were saying that like they believe it's ethical because no trend, they say that every trend is manufactured.
Yeah.
And they're like, nobody really understands this, but every trend is manufactured. So their job is basically to manufacture this like geese trend. Yeah. So like, how do you feel about that? They're saying that every trend is actually manufactured.
I kind of agree. And it almost goes back to if one person is an industry plant, then everybody is, because it's like a cutthroat industry. You know, like you don't get brownie points for not having a record label or not utilizing a connection to get you an interview at a big talk show to get you in front of a huge audience. You know what I mean? Like my number one passion is not music. I love music so much. Like I love score composition and like I do have music of my own, but I just honestly am like keeping it real. And I'm like, wait, I don't know what it takes to be like a pop star or something. But I always thought to myself, like I would never sign to a record label. I don't think. I don't know, like this could like age really badly or something, but I don't know, like to me, when I hear about people losing autonomy over their work because a record label screwed them
Right.
over, or just people being like, oh, they won't let me make this, or my label told me I couldn't release this, all of that noise, I'm just like, I'm good. I don't know, like
Yeah.
music is such like a fun process for me because like nobody really listens to my music. You know what I mean? Like it solely is a passion project. And so it's just like
Yeah.
fun to create. And so I don't want to ever like ruin that relationship. And so I feel like all of that to say, as someone on social media,
Everything is manufactured.
exactly. Like I think I keep it pretty real in social media. But at the end of the day, like I am still talking to a camera.
Right.
No matter how like relatable I try to seem or how like vulnerable I try to be. I like try to be relatable and resonate with people. But at the end of the day, like I am still talking to a camera. And so like I am kind of the same as every other influencer. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you're editing, and you're editing what you don't want people to see, and you're keeping in what you do want people to see.
Exactly.
So it's like,
and I still like to edit my stuff because I enjoy that. And to me, that does feel like having more autonomy over my work, just to be like, okay, like I am in full control of this. I filmed it, I edited it, whatever. And that's so cool. Like I love that I do that, but also like I don't get brownie points for not having an editor. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean that the person who has an editor to pump out more content every week, it doesn't mean I'm like so much better than them. Like they just have like a different strategy because they do see it more as like supply and demand. So they're like, okay, if I'm spending more time filming and just sending it off to an editor, if I'm paying this editor money, but then I'm able to post more content and overall get more money, then like you're generating more revenue, like there's more profit. So it's like, I don't get a prize for just being like, oh, I'm going to edit my stuff. I still am because integrity, but
yeah, because at the end of the day, as a viewer, I'm going to sit down on the couch. I'm going to watch a video from someone who edits their videos. I'm going to watch a video from someone who doesn't edit their videos. I'm going to finish my dinner and I'm going to turn the TV off. And that's like
exactly
all social media is.
right.
Yeah, so like I kind of understand, like I feel like in the grand scheme of things, what Geese did to gain traction is probably not nearly as bad as some things that the actual music industry is doing to their clients, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, you know, when Taylor Swift was, I don't know how old, probably like 16, they literally like tricked her into signing like a binding contract.
Yeah.
And she was just too young to know. Like, you just don't know enough at that age to, you might be signing a 10-year contract and you're like, oh, like, I'll still want to do this. Like, I don't care if they keep my music. Like, but then the older you get, you know, she started to realize, like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
And that they literally tricked her.
Because that's how they sell it to you, is like the only way to achieve this A-list success, or honestly just massive success in the industry in general, is to not like give up your rights, but to allow people to help you. To basically say like, okay, you get to make the music, we're going to fund it and all of this, and you're going to be huge. And yes, we're going to take a huge portion of your income and stuff, but this is how you make it in the industry. Like that's really how it's sold to people. And it's kind of sad. And like, I feel like this is why people lose love for the art so easily. And one thing that I also wanted to talk about is how I think that a big reason that the industry plant term is demonized so much is because when you are at that mainstream level, I feel like how you brand yourself really changes. Like it's almost like we've seen so many artists get bigger and then maybe they're more private, and it's like totally makes sense because there's just more eyes on them. But to the people who supported them in their early days when they were like vulnerable online or just, I don't know, like making random little posts, like Billie Eilish, for example, you know, I feel like she was very like real on Instagram when her account was just like, where are the avocados? Like she would just, or what is it called? I don't remember what it was, but
yeah, where are the avocados?
Or she would just do like a live stream, like literally eating a spider basically. And like now there's so many more eyes on her. I totally see why she wouldn't want to do that, because somebody could look at the background and be like, oh, I know where you are, and like track her down. Like it's terrifying. So I think that's also why people do see sometimes trying to get that mainstream success as like, oh, you're fake, you're an industry plant, because the way you brand yourself is completely different. And I feel like we even saw this with Taylor Swift in 2019, 2020, when she did the Miss Americana documentary. Obviously, she was already a majorly successful artist, but in the documentary, she talked about activism and wanting to dedicate herself to talking about political races and whether she was considered outspoken for that or not. She still wanted to talk about like the Tennessee. Yeah, but then when she did the Eras tour and she saw so much global success, like this is like beyond A-lister. This is like world-renowned pop star. Yeah, she talked about the 2024 election, but like a little less. And it was a little bit more like, I guess I'm voting for this because of this. And now when it comes to...
And it was like when she wanted to post like anti-Trump or whatever in 2016.
Yeah.
For against Marjorie Taylor Greene. I remember that scene where she's just sitting on the couch and she's like, should I post it?
Yeah.
Like her fingers like hovering over the button. She's like, oh,
and her dad is telling her not to. And she's like, I would rather like do this. Everyone hates me and whatever. I don't know. It's interesting to think about because it doesn't mean that her morals necessarily shifted. However, I don't think she would release You Need to Calm Down in 2026.
That is true. That's like a whole nother can of worms. Is like, have her politics changed, or is she trying to like become more private and knows like how much hate she's gonna get no matter what political ideology she supports?
It was like Michael Jordan when he said like Republicans buy shoes or sneakers too or whatever. This was literally in the 90s in terms of not wanting to endorse candidates or whatever. I think that this is why some people do seem not like disingenuous, but when they get, and this is not talking about Michael Jordan, I'm just referencing his quote and like how I think a lot of people apply this when trying to go for like A-list success, is they almost like remove themselves from these conversations because if they don't speak about it, then they're getting fans on all sides. Me personally, no, like, I don't know. I just...
Yeah, because then it's the question of like, if you have that platform, like, should you, like celebrities are the ones who can be really changing things.
Yeah, like that's why I'm like, it's so interesting because I'm like, there couldn't be like a trans Taylor Swift pop star. Do you know what I mean? Because the world is just not welcoming enough to accept somebody on that big of a scale. And it's like really sad to think about, true. But I think that a lot of people see it that way when they're trying to gain success. And honestly, it takes a lot of privilege to be able to be like, I'm just going to remove myself from this so I can gain massive success. Like, I don't know.
We could go on and on about the music industry.
Yeah, I'm just very, very passionate about it. But is there anything else in my notes that I was like, wait, I have to talk about this? I don't think so. I think that was, oh, wait, this is my last one. Recently I don't know if it's like a marketing scheme, what's going on with that, but I've seen a lot about James Charles on my For You page and I don't follow him. I don't really watch his videos, but what I did see is at Coachella weekend one of the DJs, I believe he was friends with this DJ, like knew of him somehow, and wanted to play one of his unreleased songs from his like EP that's coming out this year. He played it and then James Charles recorded it. And then there was like talks about this song. And then he started making this whole thing about like, this wasn't even going to be the single, but if people are vibing with it, like, should I release it? And then fully went to weekend two on a private jet, first of all, which like, why are we going from LA to Coachella, like on a private jet? Like you will be fine driving. Like, anyways, like basically went to weekend two to promote this song. And I'm like, I don't know, like, was it really like a spur of the moment type of thing where it's like, oh, people are vibing with this, so all of a sudden I have to go to weekend two and promote it? Or like, I'm not saying it was all planned down to a T, but I have been seeing some posts recently just using the song and people being like, wait, why is this not bad? And then all the like James Charles is the first person to comment on it. And I mean, like, I'm technically in like the TikTok, whatever it is to earn revenue. I don't earn shit from TikTok, but I will get things sometimes that are like, use this sound or whatever. And if it goes viral, like you can get money for it. I never like participated in that because honestly, I don't know how it works enough to even like dabble into that. But I'm like, who's to say James Charles isn't doing this with his song? And like, is it bad necessarily to do that? Like, once again, like, I guess you don't get a prize for not doing that, you know? So it's like this kind of like sick game where like, I don't know, like there really is no integrity because it's like, at the end of the day, the song is still getting to the For You pages, whether he paid for it or not. So I'm like,
ooh, that's so
I'm just going to click off the app and like go about my day, whether or not he pays for it or not. So it's like, that's why he pays for it then.
Yep.
Oh, it's kind of sad. I'm like, wow.
That's actually crazy to think about. Wow. Everything's a lie. Life is a lie. Yeah, that was a great episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod and let us know your thoughts on this situation. Do you agree with what Geese did to get virality or do you disagree?
You open up the comments and all of it is like, wow, telepathy is so underrated. Telepathy is so underrated. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
That's so funny. Yeah.
Well, yes.
All right. Do you want to close this out?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Telepathy. If you enjoyed it, the video episodes are available on YouTube and on Spotify. So give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe. Or if you're on Spotify, just follow us and then do whatever is applicable to the platform that you're listening on. If you're not on either of those two, because audio available everywhere else, follow us on Instagram at the Telepathy Pod for more updates, snippets, and more. We shall see you next Tuesday for a brand new episode. Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.